People, it is night 3. It's done. Night 4. Yes, not night 3, night 4 of the DNC20, and Joseph R. Biden has accepted the nomination. I'm gonna bring in the people, bring them on in as they.
I thought it was remarkable. I kind of expected him to start reciting.
Okay, you might have got that audio in the background and just messing us up.
So I think
yeah, there we go. There we go. I think I can see it. Maybe.
Oh, there we go. We hear people. Yeah. We hear people. Listen, we hear people.
I'm ready for. Someone said I'm ready for service.
Okay. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You almost lost because this was me. If he didn't say God bless, I was like this. Then he said God bless America. I said, all right, let me get up because see, he did what he needed to do. He was going a little long.
He was like, for the soul of America.
This was me. Where's the benediction?
Listen,
I agree with you, Quiana. He was trying his hardest not to cuss.
He's trying.
Trying. You gotta come with the heat. He is coming with this heat out here. Okay. I said he
wanted to call him a B word.
I mean,
he really wanted to call him a punk ass in a minute. He was about to be like, with his punk vibe. I was like, keep it together, Joe. Keep it together.
I'm sad that this is ending, y'all.
Y'all, I'm sad too. I said, dang, we ain't gonna have no. Now we going back to coronavirus tomorrow. Now we going back to coronavirus.
You gotta say like Cardi B though.
Coronavirus.
So let's get started with the night. I think the biggest kickoff was
wait a minute.
Look, excuse me, I have a question. I got a question for the people. The people had a question. So did you just give us a little bloop bloop? This is the topic of this moment.
Yeah,
Did we get some sponsorship? We got sponsorship.
People support. So you do new things.
We gotta get some shirts now. We gonna get some shirts now.
I'm down. I'm down for
get some shirts. We just listen. We all ready, and then all of a sudden we was about to say, "Oh, it said Zoom." Listen, I'm ready. We starting it off right tonight.
Okay. So let's talk about it. Keisha,
my soul rock.
We told you you was starting. We told you was starting the night off.
Listen, okay. First, she first of all, her outfit.
Yes.
Mother Africa. Okay, like I'm just gonna come with that from head to toe. She didn't give you her regular legs. She gave you a little longer. Let me
be a little classy. She said, let me get a little classy.
Classy, heels, booted, ready. Power to the people.
Yeah.
Gave, honor and acknowledgement of the John Lewis, and where we come from, and knowing what all Atlanta has accomplished, what they're going through, and how they're moving forward. She did well. She handled it. She did well. She went a little bit over a minute, but she hit the point she needed to hit and keep it moving.
Yeah. And let's be honest too, if this is really the first time that she has been kind of thrusted into the national spotlight, so the only time we actually heard of her outside of this was, Governor Kemp suing her for this mandate. And it's like, Governor Kemp, you're making yourself look stupid because why are you suing old girl? This makes no sense. But make
herself look stupid
any other time. But like she said, she did a very good job with sticking to the point of what her purpose was. Her purpose was talking about Atlanta. Look, as the proper people would say, Atlanta. And how the people talk about John Blue, like she had a purpose of what she was saying, and I liked how, because we jumped over the moderator of the night. We kind of messed. We kind of jumped
back to her.
Because thank you. Let me tell you something. Because let me tell you,
Carmen. Hey, Carmen. Let's tell you something, Carmen.
But yes,
Carmen.
how you doing? But Keisha Lance Bottom, she did fabulous. She did what she was supposed to do. She did her job, and she didn't fumble in this moment, which we needed her to do a good job.
I feel like a lot of the representation from the South literally kind of had their moment, like Outkast did in the Hip Hop Awards, where there was like the South got something to say.
Right.
I think about that for Clyburn, Benny Thompson, and then Mayor Lance Bottoms. Like,
and I have been proud of how she has handled herself. You know,
done very good.
That mac and cheese fiasco, but
you said that. Don't do her. Don't do her. Leave her alone.
I think it's another HBCU, so I feel like FAMU graduates, alums are about to be on it.
Listen, they've been on it since she got elected, though. Let's just be honest. FAMU was like, oh, and we strike against. I hate them so much, but you know they've been ready for her. But like you said, like I feel like and we just got to be real about it. She is the mayor of one of the largest cities in the country. And the thing is like it's so powerful because she is a Black woman. She is a product of Atlanta. So it just made sense. But she did such a good job. She articulated her point. And like I said, she did what she was supposed to do. She stayed in her sphere of control. That has been the theme of this convention. Staying in your lane.
Yes. I have been so proud of seeing our Black women mayors throughout this process. And I think
so many. It's so many
in these key
just need to get a gun.
Like seeing Auntie Lori, Auntie Lori has kept me safe, healthy, and afraid. She's
not playing.
She's not playing with y'all.
She ain't gonna catch me outside. How about that? So no, and that they have come under such scrutiny. And that we're going to see that same scrutiny here in the next 70 some odd days for Kamala. And I think they have created a great blueprint of leadership. They have some great foundation and they're standing on great shoulders already, and so for this time, I think they've shown their expertise and why they are in the place that they're at. And so
that's true.
Right. And that's something I think that I've appreciated watching weekly Lori Lightfoot and then watching Keisha, they are household names now, in their own right for how they're leading their cities.
Lori Lightfoot and her and just every interview that she's been on, it's always something. And I'm just kind of like, I laugh, but then it's like, yo, bar, it's like, your jump shot's not good anyways.
Right. And she's like, you come out your house and guess who's going to be there? Me like this. Where you going?
Right. And will not bend to the will of the president. Lord, I already told you. And Keisha said, turned around and said the same thing. Like, you're not coming in here. Not in my house. Not on my watch. We got this. Stay in your lane up there.
Stay in your lane up there. Don't come past that Mason-Dixon line.
Same thing with the mayor of New Orleans. What you doing, sir?
What you doing? Don't come over here. You're right.
That's another one because the good sorors and I was down there last year in the middle of Barry, and so I support her too. Got time for the hurricane.
So,
Antonio, what do you think? What
I love Keisha. I do. I love Keisha. Period. I mean, it is what it is, and I agree with you. To see the elevation of Black women in this past election cycle was just beautiful altogether, right? And we're not just talking about, and there are others beyond the large cities, but I think in these major cities, you're seeing Black women come up. But it also just brings me back to that research, in troubled times, leaders get handpicked to bring organizations, businesses back from the brink.
Mm-hmm.
And then get fired after they get their
fired after
How they say, look, that's another stop. That's another story for another day. We staying in the light. We are staying in the light.
We're gonna stay in our lane, but I'm gonna just let you know,
look, we're staying in the light. We staying in the light.
The research said it. I don't have her up here, but Tammy Baldwin, Senator Tammy Baldwin. Did y'all?
Oh my God, I
loved
her.
it. I loved
She
read. She read for filth, and I was like, oh, so we going there. Listen, because at the end of the day, she said, I'm gonna talk my SHIT, and you ain't gonna say nothing to me because why? I lost both these legs.
You mean Tammy Duckworth?
Oh, I thought you said Duckworth. You didn't say oh, my bad.
You said Baldwin.
He had two Tammys tonight.
Yeah. Two Tammys tonight. So Senator Tammy Baldwin.
My bad. I thought you said Duckworth. I take it.
I'm ready for Duckworth.
Look, I thought you said Duckworth. My bad. Carry on.
I have not to work on her.
Let's move on.
Okay, thank you. There we go. She phenomenal. Listen, I swear to God, I thought y'all said Duckworth. Because I really thought y'all said Duckworth. That's why I was like, oh yes, yeah. No, y'all said the other one. Oops, my bad. However, Duckworth. Listen, I'm not trying to throw shade at the other Tammy, but the Tammy of the night was Duckworth.
They both talk their shit. It was just in different elements. Yeah. Tammy Duckworth just said straight up, like, again, she's been calling this man Cadet Bone Spurs
all the time.
All the and then she said, I think my favorite line she said was, "This man don't even deserve 4 minutes of the presidency." And I was literally like,
listen, when she said that, I said, oh, so she's just as bad. When she made that, Ayanna Pressley made the comment to what's the old girl that's on for Edge, Betsy DeVos, and said, "I would not trust her with a house plant, let alone my child." When she said, I said, "Did she just?" But this is me as a plant dad. I said, "Do you not know how hard it is keeping together a house plant?"
Okay, Duckworth said, "I'm here to scathe him." I mean, it was scathing and she was poised, right? But really unloaded.
Because Orange Mussolini has tried to come for her.
Tangerine
many times, but then you said tried to come for her several
times on several occasions for several things, like being in Illinois, having a front row seat to it. She has not backed down, and you have to respect her journey, and that she didn't just show up to this. She was born into this, and so she knows what she's talking about. And, they did that great, perfect shot. There's the wheelchair, and she was standing. Because I already knew. I said, she's going to be standing up. Like,
I thought she was going to be sitting. But then when I saw her standing, I said, that part.
I think also just understanding like the benefits of Senator Duckworth. She's she's the only senator that's had a baby.
Well, 50. I didn't realize she was 50.
Oh. Yeah.
She surpassed Janet Jackson in having babies. I said, "Oh, there is hope. There is hope for me." That just gave me
what? Do me a favor. Get out. You want to get out.
Listen,
get out.
Inspiration.
Gotta get it how you can. So let's so after Duckworth, Chris Coons, his performance wasn't his
Nah. Look, it was a nice
it was. It was.
It was cute.
It was. So then there was this. Then there was Mayor Pete.
Petey Pete.
This is me. Look. I'll let y'all go ahead.
So, little history about Mayor Pete. My older sister lived in South Bend, Indiana, and she does not technically care for him.
I don't care for him either.
I think the only famous Black person I know that cares about Mayor Pete Buttigieg is Vivica A. Fox, because that's her hometown.
Right.
Fun fact.
I can never even when Pete was running for president, I could never get into him. I feel as if that he used his identities only when they were beneficial to him.
Ooh.
So I really felt like he used his identities only when it was beneficial to him. And at the end of the day, I look at certain situations like, sir, your town in this moment is dealing with some stuff, some real life stuff. And you're trying to run for president, which you can do. However, you're not addressing the systematic racist things that are happening in your town. And then when you're asked about it, you try to, no, ma'am, no, sir. You can't hurdle that. You cannot hurdle that. So I could never get into him. And that might be a little deeper issue that I have with certain people in certain communities. However, I felt like he just wasn't always authentic with us. He was not authentic.
I think he was very inauthentic.
Other people agree with y'all, and so I'm going to stand on the other side of it. Yeah.
And you see me, I'm waiting for what he got to say too. I'm like this, look.
Okay, I disagree and use his identities when they were only beneficial to him. I do agree with you that he simply could not be who we needed him to be at the moment that the things were happening in his town. He did not have the capacity to rise up to be. He did not have he doesn't have the political capital. He does not have the knowledge to understand what Fort Bend was going to and to address it. And I think if he had gone home and had addressed fully, he did go home at some, but really go home and address and listen to the people at the time and talk about what was happening and empathize with it. It could have been very different for him, but I can't get with you when you say he uses his status as a gay man when it only benefits.
And that's fine. Look, and that's fine.
I believe very differently. I mean, it's hard enough to identify and then to put yourself on the national stage, right, and know the criticism that's going to come with that alone. Like, it's no benefit to you. It's what you're trying to do. So
I think for Mayor Pete though, like, he probably needed, like you said, more political capital. That's what he needed. Like, I get that you're a mayor and all in that sense, and yes, I'm not saying mayors can't be president. No, I feel like if again, Tangerine Mussolini can be president, anybody can be president.
Anybody can.
Can be a better president than that dude. So a house plant, furniture.
No, everybody can't be president because there's an occupant of the White House.
Well, after him, anybody can. So if the Rock Johnson jump up and say he want to be president, this be me. At least you diverse. I'll take you. Look, I'll take you, and I like your movies, so I'll take you too. So I'll be the one to say I'll vote for the Rock.
But I think for me, I would want to see him really engage on some of the politics. I also think that, again, South Bend, Indiana, yes, is that considered a city? It's more of a college town, in my opinion, because Notre Dame rules it. But I don't think that necessarily. I remember when he came out, I was like, why is the mayor, like, he has good points. Yeah. But that's just it. Who we also didn't see with all these candidates? Tulsi Gabbard.
Girl, I already told you where Tulsi at. She's
Tulsi. He said
Tulsi went. She's like a cicada. She's like a cicada. So she popped up because that time was, that was when, she was supposed to. Now, sadly, she's no longer here with us or something. I don't know.
Did y'all see the like bachelor reunion panel?
I thought that was cute. I thought that was adorable. I said, "This is me."
I was like, "Was this like the Love and Hip Hop?"
I said, "What is this happening here?"
Somebody's throwing a shoe, Quiana.
I was like, "The Housewives Tell All." Like, what?
Quiana, I was sitting there like, "Oh, this gonna get juicy. Let me see some stuff."
Did you the shade Bernie threw at Cory Booker?
I died.
How about your girlfriend smarter than you? That's why.
She's smarter than you.
When he said that, I said, sir, that was not a part of the skit. That was not on the
he
form.
was petty.
He was petty for that one. It was cute though. I thought that was but y'all, we still missing the moderator. Can we please talk about her, please? Because look, she came out the gate with her buffoonery, and this was me. I was here for all of it.
Julia
Louis-Dreyfus.
I said, why she? This is me. Oh, so they just told her to just do her stuff. They just have fun because that's all she did was talk junk, crack jokes, and made me laugh the whole entire time.
Oh,
I agree. I think it was like an SNL skit. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But that's what she does.
Right.
She wore the uniform.
She did.
She
was like, because tomorrow he's gonna say that I am a this with low ratings, and I was like, oh, you stupid.
But then she was like, it takes one to know one.
Right. And I said,
about the Woman Man TV. This was the IQ test that he took. And there's a clip of the I can't remember her name, the woman who makes fun of Trump. She does all of his parodies. And she does a great rendition of the Woman Man TV. So he went into an IQ test and he was like, and the things were like, and they ask you, and it's like woman and man and TV and
a dementia test.
Yes,
that's what it's called. That's not no IQ test. That's to say if you have dementia.
Right.
Sorry.
Well, guess what? I guess that he might have aced it. You know, I don't know.
How do you ace your memory loss test?
Listen. I'm just here. Look how the meme go.
That's my favorite meme. That's my favorite meme.
That's mine.
So we continued with, I mean, we were looking towards Mike.
Oh, Mike.
I have a quote. Let me pull up my notes. I took notes on this one.
Look, let me tell you something. Mike, I said, please, this is me first as a New Yorker. Look, let me go here first. And then, because I don't got much to say, because all I did was like this. As a New Yorker, I was proud. I was proud. You know why? He brought the New York shade that we need in today's society. Yeah. And this was, and Quiana, take it away, Mrs. Stone. Take it away.
Letitia got so excited she done booted herself off.
She done got out.
I'm back.
She back. Okay.
Say the New York shade again, because that's exactly what I was ready to talk about.
I said, as a New Yorker, I was very proud. I said, this is how New Yorkers get you, and you don't even know they get you until they got you. And this was me the whole time, like, oh, so you going there. Oh, I knew you were. But I was here for it. Miss Stone, go ahead. What's the notes, Miss Stone?
When he was doing the comparison of the candidates.
Oh,
yes.
God.
I said, this man has said one of these sees immigrants as enemies and the other sees white supremacists as allies. I said, if you ain't gonna tell the truth and shame the devil
let me tell you something, because I laid down, I was like this, and when he said it, I said, oh,
because people have danced around,
they did,
all week, and I said, you came with the East Coast, I'm going to give you the rock. I done been a Democrat, a Republican, and independent. He said, hell, I done been some of everything.
He said, hell, I done been to it.
And look,
he was ready to cut everybody out after that.
And at the end of the day, I could be a Democrat, or Republican, or independent, and y'all still gonna ask me for my money to support.
I got billions.
I got billions.
That I built on my own without my daddy helping me out. When he started talking about how Trump inherited things and it just falls on the wayside. Like he talked about all of his businesses. He's like, he had two businesses and went bankrupt and left people without paychecks. I was like,
listen, it was nasty. I was like, just do it. But see, at the end of the day, though, like Antonio said, everybody has been staying in their lane. And I don't think everybody has been like here's the door. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do like a nice little knock that you're not gonna hear, and you're not gonna open up the door. Michael Bloomberg just said, boom, let me run through this door, tell these people that he a racist, and I said it, and if you got a problem, let them know that I said it.
And there's power in that. Like, let's take a moment. Like, there's power in that. You have a white man with money, because clearly somebody in the world that's fascinating and juicy to people, and especially folks in these rural areas.
Yes,
that find that amazing, because those are the things that they somehow connect with.
They aspire to be. They aspire, and they see themselves, even though they know they'll never get there. They see themselves in that.
In your double wide, like you see it, you know. And so it was amazing that I was like, you're giving folks another option, another view. If you're gonna listen to rich white men, here's a rich white man that's been in the game and that's gonna be in the game.
I got my own channel.
And he laid out his receipts of why he can say what he says, and who gonna stop him. Like, it was power in that moment. I was like, your people.
It was.
I was shocked. Yeah.
And let's talk about it from the diversity angle, right? We always talk about people talking to their own community, right? Mike showed up and talked to his community.
Yes, he did.
And told his people, this is a racist. Okay.
This is a racist. And if you associate yourself with this man, you're a racist. And I think and Antonio, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but that's what he did. Like, he spoke to his people. So those people that live on the Upper West Side, that the nice brownstone walk-ups, the ones that's investors, if you support this man, guess what you are?
A racist.
You are a racist. And let me tell you more. If you're saying he's so successful, let's look at his track record and why I know what I'm talking about, because I'm a billionaire. And I can tell you, as a billionaire to another billionaire, he ain't doing nothing.
I'm waiting for these tax returns.
Girl, we ain't never gonna see him.
We ain't gonna never see them tax returns.
Yeah, there's two sides to this. I mean, there's many sides to this, right? There's
many sides.
All sides, right? But I think Mike gave people language that they have been having in their own side conversations that they can now use in the public space, right? Talk about giving permission, someone in your community helping you to find the language among your own community. And so it was, you know, we always talk about black folks correcting black folks on the side and not like, but this was a moment to say, we can have this conversation out in public and still stand on what it is. Now, I'm not going to give Mike Bloomberg too much praise.
But just enough.
I mean, because we all know he's still problematic and he got his own set of issues.
Yes.
We're not negating that fact.
Yeah.
But he did what he needed to do to show up, you know.
He held accountability. He held the people accountable.
Commentary, like George Stephanopoulos had talked about this, about, you know, when he didn't know, like, he put his own name in the ring, you know, and so not sure on what was going to happen, and then gracefully bowed out. And then I also appreciated that while he was talking high up here to our rich folks, those on their way, like, he broke it down he was like, I didn't just get here overnight. I started as a small business owner and grew my empire. And so for those who are the small business, and we talk about these tax breaks, right? And he was like, Trump trying to do me a favor because he think I'm his friend, you know, and he trying to keep friends like me, because he think his friends happy, but it's not about that. I don't do it, you know, and own that he didn't need it, you know, that he did not need that break, you know, and so I appreciate him owning that, because we need more voices in that tax bracket,
right?
To say that out loud, and that was, I thought, was helpful. Because he felt in that moment, I felt like he felt in reach, because oftentimes when you have folks on a platform like that, you know, it's like that's going to fall on deaf ears because I can't connect with you, and I appreciate it that he took time to connect with the middle
people that identify. Yeah.
You know, that was important.
But I also think there's like other rich folks that have been a part of it that really necessarily can't, like George Soros, Buffett, all of them. Like, folks don't want to hear from them. No one wants to hear from Bill Gates. Everyone has their conspiracy theory about him. So it's just something to that level. Again, like, I'm happy to see Mike Bloomberg. Someone asked the question, is Mike Bloomberg giving up money? I absolutely think so.
Mike has
Mike always does it though. Yeah.
Mike has money to give. He has platform. His media conglomerate stretches far and wide. And right, and it's notable. And so even if he's not giving his money, he's giving his platform, and that might even be more powerful to reach his message, right, in spaces that Joe may not have access to, right? Like we're all talking about it, the crowd that Mike speaks to. Right, Joe may not. Joe's from, you know, and it's no knock to Scranton. I'm just using Joe's analogy, right?
He's from
working people. That ain't where he came from. You know what I'm saying? And so,
and then let's just be honest. Just be honest, like about Michael Bloomberg is like, and he made it very clear from the beginning of why he joined the presidential race. He made it very clear. He said, the only reason why I am joining this race is because I have heard from many circles that they're not connecting with Biden. They're not connecting with Elizabeth Warren. They're not connecting with these different candidates. So, hey, here's another option. Let me go ahead and throw my name in the hat.
What his biggest supporter was Judge Judy.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, in general, though, it's like, he did it in a way that was like, I'm not trying to take away from what y'all got going over here. I'm going to criticize y'all and I'm going to debate y'all like I need to. However, I'm only here as a safety blanket. All my money, I'm using my money to do this. I'm using because remember, he put out all the money he needed to get on the stage. He put out all the money he needed to do all the work.
My house. I'm just
saying, he did.
I'm going to tell you, down here in Houston, the people were hot because, and they have not forgiven Mike for the way that his campaign ended. Apparently, the hot tea was that he was going to continue to fund his campaign staffers in support of the candidate, and he cut them off. Now people are responsible for making their own decisions, right, of their own livelihood. When you leave your job to go work on a campaign,
that's your responsibility.
But in the middle of a pandemic, when we started, right, because that's when his campaign got kicked off very, very late in the game. There were a lot of people here. And now I was surprised at the number of Black Houstonians who support Mike Bloomberg. And baby, let me tell you, they came out in the droves.
They was ready
to support his campaign. So it also made me wonder, like, are these Black folks getting paid? And my Quiana eye. Are these Black
I don't think it was they getting paid, but however, Michael Bloomberg is very strategic. Let's just be very honest. It's a reason why he was able to be mayor of New York City for the time in which he was. Let's be real. Michael Bloomberg was only supposed to be mayor for like 2 seconds. Ended up putting a rule in place, ended up making him on for 2 more seconds. And then some more seconds. So he was able to, in a state that a Democratic state, that he was able to be constantly. Black folks in New York City loved Mike. And this is just because I'm just being honest, because my grandma, I need receipts because my grandma's a Democrat. So I said, what he do? And my grandma would be like, it's just Mike. So my thing is, it's just like he has that aura about himself. Because even at the debate stage, he went up there and was like, basically, you and me. He was beat and kept it pushing. And then when they was be all mad, he like this, well, okay. He didn't care. Okay. So that's why people were just like, because me, honestly, I'm gonna be real. I was gonna vote for Kamala, excuse me. I was gonna vote for her. When she dropped out, this was me. Well, I guess I'm voting for Mike. I was like, I bet I'm voting for Mike.
I was like that. I mean, I feel like we were like that. You had Social Security up.
Yeah, but Joe talked a little bit about him, and I think that's another conversation that's heavy right now. This Social Security tax, and I don't think a lot of people really understand it.
They don't understand the difference.
That this tax is you gonna get it on the front end, but it's gonna take you out on the back end. And
they take mine out every 2 weeks.
You may get it back now, but you're gonna pay for it. You're gonna pay for it later. And we're talking about. I mean, I've just felt this way for a long time, right? Like I do not think that we're going to get to enjoy the liberties of Social Security, even though we've been paying.
No.
Right.
We were told that in undergrad. That was
right.
I was told that in high school. Like, I knew that in government class.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
They taking a lot of our money out, but we're not gonna see it. But I think like I'm curious to see how the Social Security debate conversation is going to play out in the upcoming weeks, just because, like, once again, they used his receipts. He said, and I quote, "I am going to get rid of Social Security." So my thing is I'm curious to be like, with a lot of these older individuals that like are heavy supporters of his, be like,
wait a minute, sir, what are you doing? Because every time someone talked about Social Security, historically, them folks will show up like, "What you doing, sir?"
Right, but I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it.
I've seen it from some of the folks in my circle and like their friends, but like recently I just haven't seen it. And I think it's just because of the fact that there's something about Tangerine Mussolini that just relates to the innermost crevices, dark spots of folks.
Listen, as this lady said on TikTok the other day, there is a reason why you never seen Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus in the same room. And I'm back. But listen, when she said that, I said, and then my mother was like, "Well, what does that mean?" I said, "Let me tell you what." I was so excited because it means something. And that's why, like I said, those words were so, he's racist. And if you support him, you're racist. And it's just that plain and simple.
And I think
a couple years ago, we could have did that. Oh, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. We're going to see what he's going to do. He was just saying it to get elected. Because look, I said, yeah, he might, do well. However, in this point right now, listen, I am one that's like, I know you ain't crap, but I'm going to let you, I have faith that you go change up a little bit. But this was me after the second day. Never mind. But, but I was just like, never mind. But that's what everybody's like now. So it's just like, I'm really curious to see how it's gonna plan out.
I think the debate, he's gonna Cinnamon Hitler is going to flip flop like he always does.
I need you to find a name for this man. Is he gonna be Mussolini? Is he gonna be Cinnamon Hitler?
I'm gonna call him a lot of. I'm calling him.
I need consistency. Y'all already said Melania, and I said, who y'all mean, Melon?
Oh, okay.
I call her Melon.
Thank you.
I call her Melon. I call her Melon.
You talked about the Rihanna clip, and I went back and watched it. Rihanna's Instagram of a montage of Melania knocking Trump's hand away at all.
I love it. She's like, "Don't touch me. Boop, move. Don't touch me. I'm walking down these steps. Boop, don't touch me." First of all, he should have known better. She had a person trying to hold onto the railing. I can't hold your hand too.
She's done with him.
Because she probably
and it's just, and you want to feel bad for her a little bit.
I don't.
And then you don't.
I mean, that interview with her little white hat and when she was all touring over in the sub-Saharan Africa.
No shade. Excuse me. I'm sorry, but what we're not going to do. I really like that outfit. That outfit was very slaveful.
Cool, but
you know what? I'm mad at her. I'm upset with Melania for one reason and one reason alone. This is why I'm upset.
Michelle?
No. See, I'm not even mad at her about that. See, me, I'm the type of one that if you follow me on social media, I am like the hype man. My goal in life is to hype you up. So like if you looking like I'm gonna be like you. So when Trump when Trump got elected, this was me. I don't like this man, but I know she's gonna give me fashions. I have not got a solid look yet. The only look I got was when she wore that hat. I said, okay, so
we have
to understand the significance of the hat.
She gives a look. The media don't have time to get the attention of the media because of her husband. But she gives.
Guess what? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
Pencil line.
But let me tell you something. When she walked up into that White House with that Tiffany, I said, "Whoop, that's a look. That's a look, baby." But listen, that ain't her. That's nobody but her own fault. She needs how to control her man, and then she gets some looks on the thing. She can't. But
you're not gonna get the lookbook. Maybe that's the only book you're gonna get from Melania. Is the lookbook of her 4-year election.
What is it? All her speeches, the camera's like far, far away from her. It's just but my thing about that is Melania, when she had that interview when they were touring African nations, she's just as worse as he is. She's just pretty.
Does it in a very subtle way.
Yeah. She's the worst. Yep. Like I'd rather have a Trump in my face than a Melania.
Barron, poor Barron. I don't even know if he's coming or going. I'm just like,
we're gonna leave the kids alone. Leave the kids alone.
That's the only thing I will commend her on. That was her non-negotiable, and she has been consistent with here's what you're not gonna do. I don't know a lot about nothing, but I'm trying to be a good mother, and what you're not gonna do, you're not gonna talk about.
You just said she don't know a lot about.
That's my favorite new line. I don't know.
I don't know a lot of. That's gonna be me in the next meeting. Listen, y'all. I don't know a lot about nothing, but what you not gonna do? I like that. Somebody write that down.
For him.
Somebody write that down. I don't know a lot about that.
She may not know a lot about nothing, but she know a corny when she did, because she stayed her behind in New York until she got a negotiated prenup. Okay, I expect the divorce coming. Probably on.
Because listen, I was shocked. I was like, "Is she still in New York City?"
January 20th at 12:01 p.m. I bet.
If that election gets called, I think December. I think December we gonna see Melania Trump is divorcing.
Unless with the redo, because he might have a sense of inkling that it's coming. He put a cap on how long she got to stay.
Oh, sure. God. You know, his previous wives, he's had a limit. Like they've had to stay with him for.
So with the renegotiation of the prenup, that might have been built in, so it won't look like immediately they were out of the White House and she packed the bags and left.
She gonna pull a what's that
bread? Well, she ain't getting that bread.
She gonna go through the tunnels and go to the residence like Millie did in Scandal.
We're gonna have 4 choppers pulling out. Trump was gonna go one way and she gonna go another.
So stupid. It's gonna be like this here. Y'all, we need to stop playing. Let's get back focused. We can't be talking about this thing demise. We forgot about Cory Booker. We forgot about Booker. We left Booker.
Cory.
Nah, we just talked about how the only thing we did was we talked about how Bernie played him. That was it.
Cory's speech was really, really, really fast.
Oh, no, I was joking. We didn't have to go back to him now. I was just saying Look, no shade. I was just saying.
It was all shade. It was all shade in the world.
I'll go back in. Because child, Cory wasn't talking about nothing. He wasn't talking about nothing. Y'all, what was he talking about? Y'all remember? Y'all don't even remember.
It wasn't memorable. I mean, he stayed in his lane. He did his part.
I think the speech that surprised us the most was the Surgeon General.
That was good. I like that. That was good.
It was good. And then really humanized it. You know, they all have found their moment, but I thought it was really magical when he was speaking about his grandmother. And
yes, that was cute. Yeah.
That conversation Joe had with his grandmother about, you know, making them feel at home and that this was a place that was gonna take care of his son. You know?
And what was the young man's name? The young boy, Bentley. I think it was Bentley. Yes, that was such a good.
Oh my God.
That was my moment for the night. Like that was mine because it was just like you kept seeing him like talking and looking because it was just like, but it was like he kept. I was just like, you push on, young man.
Actually, that was my cry moment. I was just like,
yeah.
It was so.
I know. Kylie asked about cry moments. That was a tear up moment because my godmother had a stutter and was a soprano singer and to sing the heavens down. Okay.
But then when she,
you know, and she would have the conversation and nothing stopped her. And so I know what that means to overcome a stutter and or not overcome, come enough where it's still a part of your dialect and how to move forward and how to still accomplish all the things. And she was very well respected in the city, worked for the city, very well respected in the church and just kind of those kind of things. And so to see him take the time and pour into that, I believe, I'm like, I want Joe to call me. I want him to have like, can you check on me? And knowing that is a real story. Like, I believe that. I believe that
it was a child. It was a child's story. It was a child's story.
The clips too of Joe sitting down with that panel of people that they keep coming back to. I think trying to find a way to have these conversations with people talking about, and the woman who was talking about, in the next 5 years was trying to buy a house, the Black woman, was like, these are real stories of people, right? Like, I appreciated it.
I think that's the theme of it, is like we're talking to normal people. We're pulling at your heartstrings. We're trying to really show you that this is not normal, y'all. Like, we need to get back to normal. And most importantly, and I think it was said today, is like having a president and a vice president that, your kids can look up to. Like, even in that little skit with Steph Curry and his wife.
Finally, they got so big.
And it was like, those moments, it was just like, I like these moments because it's just like, and then I don't know if y'all saw on Instagram how Kerry Washington actually did like a little segue with a bunch of kids and like talking about voting. And it's just like, we need to get back to a point where like our kids, we do not have to worry about what they see because it's not going to be something crazy. So I think it's like literally these moments of like trying to find, like they said, the humanity and back in America, like bringing light, bringing light into the dark. Like, it's time to enough.
Even like what Joe Biden said, he started off with that amazing quote from Ella Baker, where it was like, as soon as he brought that up, I was just like, I already know what he's about to start doing. And I think there was one point in that speech where I was like, okay, that's the Uncle Joe I know. And that's when he was talking about purpose. And I was just, But then, of course, my thing that got me to cry was my old boss, that whole montage to Beau Biden.
Listen, I can't do any more of it. It makes my heart just, because it's just so like, this is me. I turn into a punk when they start talking about that. And I think that like my grandmother passed away from cancer. So it's like those moments where like, if you have a loved one that passed from cancer and you watch that progression and that progress, like progress is such a weird word, but like that progression, it's like, you understand how he feels. So like when you hear that story, this be me. Every time I hear that story, I just be like this.
It's just
I think throughout these last 4 days, you really understand how much of a role Beau Biden played and
in his father's everything.
Still plays in his life, right? Like his memory will not be erased. And I think Beau is
learned that he is human, that he bleeds.
Right.
Like, it took me back to a moment in the Justice League when you got Superbad asking Batman, it was like, do you believe? He's like, no, do you believe? Like, that is making, because we don't know what's in the inside of 45.
Cheese whiz, McDonald's.
I like how you did that.
well done.
I don't know that's carotid arteries, but you know them arteries.
Clogged arteries.
No, but Quiana, you are correct. We don't know because we've never seen him have a moment. All we have seen him do is just terrible things.
I know we ain't got no tax returns.
Listen, he's been doing the things that your parents will always tell you not to do. So, like, for example, like when you were younger and you might meet for the first time an individual with disabilities. And you know how us as kids, we would be like looking and, you know, say that, and your parent will be like, real quick, that's not what you do, and explain to you why you don't do that. And it's like everything that you were taught not to do, he does it. And it's just like,
and he just does it
and he does it for no reason. He just does it
because he wants the attention, good or bad.
And it's a mess. It's just terrible. So it's just like, you know, it's those moments, like you said, we know. But see, the thing is, we didn't really need to know. Right. We already know what Joe's about. We already know. The issue is that this election is not about like a human being versus like the angel versus the devil or this person. It is literally about if you want to go back to normal, or do you want to go down this route of dark, like literally racism and bigotry? It's literally about let's get back to where we were, or do you want to go back down this right of bigotry and racism? And it's bad.
And we can't ignore, right? And this is because I'm with it, but we can't ignore that those ugly heads have reared themselves up, and they are very present, right?
And dangerous.
And dangerous, right? And so I think when we talk about the soul of America, that's the part that we have to be ready, right? We've got to be ready for on January 20th is that these two worlds, this world that has existed this last 4 years and the world that we all want, are really going to collide into one space. Because do you think that these people who have risen up and have just decided to be very public about their racism, yet again, not new to America, but yet again, are just going to fade into the back of the bottom?
So then let me ask y'all a question. And this is Anthony, this is your show, but I got a question.
Go ahead, ask a question.
This is your show. This is your show, but I got a question. So come November, let me ask this. Come November, and let's just say we don't elect Joe Biden and Harris, and we literally go back to where we. So what is that going to? What does that tell you?
I start looking for civil affairs jobs in Canada.
I believe.
I don't have time. I'm going.
Honestly, y'all, I think the way that the tensions are like really bubbling under the surface, I feel like if this election turns into what we had when George Bush was elected, because this will be it's going to feel like a second stolen election. Right. I feel like there will be riots in the streets.
I feel like we're going to go to war. I'm just going to call it. We're going to go to war. Some
civil war in America, and America will burn. I really believe that, because I think
and knowing who is it, Vladimir Putin, man who rides topless on a horse,
Voldemort. I call him Voldemort.
Cheats on the Olympics, and what's it? Props up Maria Sharapova, but that's another day for another dollar.
I'll go that right.
But he wants a kleptocracy. Like, that's the thing. Kleptocracy is stolen governments. So if you ever heard of kleptomaniac, they steal stuff. But
it's crazy, because my thing is like, and I think what makes me like so sad is because like a lot of stuff don't make me sad because I'm a thug. I'll be like, I'm a thug. I'm stupid. But like what makes me so sad is because I'm sitting there like, in what world do you live in? So this is not Russia. This is not China, where you can be in power literally forever. You are only in power for 8. So my thing is if you do get back elected so you just want to burn down, have this country just go to shit, and go back to.
But to your point, Dashan, there was a CNN poll. There was a couple polls that talked to some of these regular folks from all over, saying that they were okay with a little bit of fascism. And I'm sitting here like, you clearly didn't understand what fascism looked like.
They don't know what that means.
They don't know what that means.
Yeah. They don't know for real.
More authority. You know, stop that. Stop talking like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so where do we go in these last 70-some days?
I don't know.
We go to work. That's what we do.
Right.
Come on. We go
to work. At this point, we have to utilize all our resources to have a conversation about what it truly means. Like, this week was all about humanizing the leadership that is asking for the votes, because that's what we are missing. Humans. Right. We are missing folks that can make that connect point. You know, I think that we have to do some things that have never been done. Right. We have to go above and beyond. I think
it's having these conversations at midnight, knowing that we got to be at work tomorrow. Like, we got to start. We got, like, I agree with you, Quiana. It's putting in the work. Like, what are you willing to do? Like, this is the time where if I hear a student affairs professional, even though right now we are struggling, tell me.
Yeah, one more time for the people in the Jeep seats.
We're struggling. They had a bad day today, but we are struggling. We need to get to work, and it's something to that level where it's, you know, it's getting our students, like, talking with the students that we know we have, like, that's within our sphere of influence, and getting them energized to go and do, like, telling them like, look, y'all, you need to get it. You need to get in with this. I think it's also talking with our colleagues, especially on Black SAP, and being like, what are you doing? And I don't want to hear people talking about the Green Party or these neocon liberals. This is not the election for that. I'm sorry. It's just not. Take that for 2024.
Not even then, because it's not at this point, because maybe 2028, maybe 2028.
And it's about, while we're talking about the big show, it's all the little shows leading to. You know, it's like going to the Essence Fest. Like, I'm paying attention to what's happening in the Superdome, but the Super Lounge is on and popping. And I got to pay attention and pop my head into all the Super Lounge.
I think for me, I'm just praying and hoping. I'm just praying and hoping and hoping and praying that people as energized, like you said, as they are with the presidential race, we're energized for the Congress and for the Senate. And I just hope and pray, and I keep on saying that it's going to happen. I say to myself that the presidency is kind of a flip-flop. It's like we don't really know. But I literally say, as far as with the Senate and for Congress, I know people, human beings, I know we are going to hold these senators and these congressmen and women accountable. So, like, for example, Mitch McConnell, we don't know what's going to happen. But my thing is, those people like Susan Collins, that Lindsey Graham, that other woman that's running against the Reverend in Georgia, and those individuals, I'm like, there's a possibility, there's a chance, but I'm just praying and hoping that there's not a blue wave. I want a blue tsunami.
Right.
I am just at a point where I'm just tired, because, like, here we had Obama, he was screwed because he had a bunch of jackasses and the Senate didn't want to do nothing. And I keep on saying to myself, like, if we had and I've been saying it for the longest, if we had blue and blue, Democrat, it is endless possibilities. Like, what can actually happen? And I'm just like, the Republicans had it, and guess what they didn't do? Nothing. All they did was say, let's do the Supreme Court, let's do a bunch of that, which is very important. But they
was to change ACA, and they didn't. So they had 8 years to sit here and come up with somebody's plan and come up with a plot. And they just mad because a Black man came up with their plan because it was a Republican plan in the first place and did that. But I think
the Republican governors were torn because those most vocal in states like Tennessee, where ACA was working for them, right, also told the party to pump the brakes, right? You might be down this road, but you need to pump the brakes because my people are benefiting from it, and I'm right. Like, it's that give and take, right? So I think that's why,
But I think, Antonio, stuff like this, like, I don't, like, at this point, next 70 days, I don't care if you want me to, like, I don't mind coming on this stuff and talking, because if someone's telling me, yo, I thought you were informative, cool. But I think it's something to that level with, I think it's just not just all of us, but people who are watching, people who come and watch this afterwards and watch the replay or listen to your podcast on Spotify. Just saying.
Look, plug it in.
Oh, there's a plug.
We can plug that. You know, if you need content, you need something to listen to while you're on your run. You know, or getting ready for your workday. You
just need to listen to something that provides that comical relief, but then also gives you some information.
I mean, we're always here to provide.
And you know, look, and this is me. You know, I'm always here for the shits. But like, and you know, and I just feel like, look, but honestly though, I feel like y'all said that like we as a people, we literally have to make sure and find ways to literally make sure people are getting involved and making sure we are inserting ourselves in the places in which we need, because this is no joke. Like it literally is at that point of like in November, if stuff don't go the way in which it needs to, because it's gonna be a shit show. It is literally going to be a shit show. And I think that everybody's gonna be at that point where, you know, I'm gonna be like, I need at least a week because I'm tired.
I'm already taking the week off, but I'm just saying to that level, it's getting involved. Like for those who are watching go volunteer. Like the DNC is looking for people to volunteer. Black women, there's a thing called A Seat at the Table. It is a Facebook group. It is ran by Joaquin Clinton. There's Hip Politics. There are so many platforms and folks who are running stuff and doing stuff, and there are resources for that. I just think that it's just time for folks to just be able to it's like to set your pride aside. Because at this point, it's 70 days before we are 3 seconds away from doomsday.
And let me tell you something, and that comes by 70 days. We'll be here tomorrow.
Right.
Let's just be honest. I already feel like it's October.
March.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's October. Yeah. I feel like I've been at work. I feel like I've been at work all week. Look, right.
I'm gonna be here, and the election crew. You know, the faces may change in and out depending on what's going on in people's personal world and their personal life. There's a couple of you who hit me up while we were on air, and you know, I love you all. You know, gotta give love to people who always be rocking with me. So you know, and now that y'all have been rocking with me.
Dashan might not be here in the ACC campus season. I might be like, y'all, it's been fun, but I'm back at my mama's house, and she don't like me up past a certain time. No, but I'm for real.
So,
I'm scared.
We move some things around, but y'all know the election crew appreciate y'all so much. You know.
Next week, the RNC Klan rally is gonna be happening, y'all. So make sure
it's a Klan rally. I mean,
let's make sure that we all attend and listen to what they gotta say. I'm literally just going to watch it because I just need to know who's gonna show up and talk. Because I gotta be like, oh, so you talking? Okay, let me write your name down. Right.
Informed. I want an informed electorate.
Well, and it's gonna be real interesting because you know what's the young lady's name that's running against in Baltimore?
I don't really care because she says that she's from the Baltimore, and I start ignoring her.
Candace Classic, and you should know Classic with a K, 2 Ks.
Yeah, Candace. You know, I was looking at something because she popped in my news feed today. Her latest video of walking around about how the Democratic Party doesn't care about Black people. That's like her latest campaign. Trump retweeted her, and so she's kind of gotten some momentum and went viral a little bit because she's walking through like the neighborhoods that are run down and having some conversation. And someone was like, well, the Republican Party don't care about Black people either.
Right.
So
listen to me. What party you want to go to? The party that don't care about Black people but like Black people, or the party that don't care about Black people and hate Black people?
And hangings come through and modern day lynchings happen and they ignore it.
I'll take my chances with them over there.
I think it's going to be those stories. So it's going to be a twist on some of those stories that I think we're going to see next week.
I know it's gonna be that one from Georgia. It's gonna be that one from Georgia that's running against I think her name is Naima or Naima.
Naima.
Yeah, it's gonna be that lady that's running against Naima because she's a black woman as well, and that girl got a rap sheet longer than my dreads. But you know, it's whatever.
I mean, there will be some retooling that happens to the RNC after this DNC because this build up was everything.
I mean, even Fox News has been giving the Democrats their props because there's like, yo, this is good.
I mean, you know what Fox do it. It's a mean.
You know, and it's probably a blessing. Another COVID blessing because COVID has given blessings as well as it's taken away.
Say it now.
I think that we would have had a very different DNC had COVID not happened. And I don't think it would have been to the benefit of
nobody
at all. Like they would have had a very different narrative because there's a lot of chain events of other things that occurred as a result of that. And so it'll be interesting to see how the RNC addresses Black Lives Matter, how they touch that, who they get to represent the Black lives.
They're not going to touch Black Lives Matter.
Why you had to say that?
Because
why you had to say that?
I mean,
45.
Oh, y'all don't know Candace. What's that girl named Candace? What?
45 has already said that Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization.
Thank you. They
words, but there's going to be somebody between what's the two girls, the two women.
Candace Owens,
Diamond
and Silk. Diamond and Silk.
They'll be Diamond and Silk gonna be back. Y'all wait on it.
I can't really take them seriously because their eyebrows scare me. Like I can't do that. I just can't.
It ain't nothing wrong with them, girl. It is, but you know, leave them alone.
George Bush to endorse Biden. I think they may reserve that
for the last minute.
It's going. That's fourth quarter. That's fourth quarter.
Surprise.
Yeah. I don't know. George Bush still rocks real hard with the Republican Party. He is still a big fundraiser for the Republican Party. Please,
he might be right because he can't do it. I don't think I would be shook.
He's not like his mama and his daddy.
About his relationship with Michelle too much, so to put that on the line. And so I would be surprised because that's the other thing. What presidential power do they have that's going to show up? You know, they don't, you know, and so
it's true,
I think he's like, I got you off camera, you know, he's an off camera conversation.
He is
but it's going to be interesting, like who they put up to talk about the Black lives, who Latino lives, like who are
Latino lives. They gonna go Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz.
You know,
Candace Owen, Diamond and Silk for Black lives. They gonna bring in that pastor that do the weird stuff. It's probably gonna be moderated by that little clown comedian boy that be running around. That was with Herman Cain and was like all that foolishness. Probably gonna be. It's just gonna be a fool. It is going to be a minstrel. It is gonna be a minstrel show. It's gonna be a minstrel show.
There's not enough wine in this world for me to be able to do this, but I'm gonna do this because I need to see what.
We're going to have wine pairings with the RNC because it's going to be needed. Okay.
We're going to first start off with Pinot Noir.
I will send it out because we're going to need an alternative to it. But we're going to wrap it up there at the 70-minute mark. So whether or not you're watching this, you watch this live, you're watching the replay, you're listening to it on the podcast. I so appreciate y'all.
I want my check.
Wait,
I want my check.
Take me with you, sir. Take me with you.
All right.
Give me my check. No, I'm kidding.
I will see y'all later.
All righty. Have a good night, family.
Good night. Be safe.
Yes, and I want to just plug two pieces here, folks. Two things here. Two podcasts that you can check out. Me and the homies, the meeting after the meeting. We'll be back September 7th with the meeting after the meeting. We're on your favorite podcast platforms talking about life and work and community. And also you can check out replays if you don't have time. Maybe you started listening to this show and then you tuned off. You can pick it back up on the podcast. It pushes out every morning. So check that out as well. But I appreciate all of you who came for the evening to rock with me. We'll be back for the RNC. All right. Have a good one.